Hello, I'm alone in Finland. This is EVE Online, and it's actually a little update on the last video. I knew I had said the next one would be the gate, the anatomy of a gate camp, and I am going to literally try and get that sorted right after this. All the video is taken, I just need to put it together. But I got a really funny comment, and you guys made me some money. So the first one is a thank you, because at the point of filming this, so this is 9 o'clock in the morning where I am. I got a text from a mate of mine, the friend I was talking about previously in game. They had sent us a link, sent us a thing this morning saying the money is deposited. So I got some isk, and I got some isk because when we were talking about this, I had made a joke and said, look, I'm going to put this video up. I was asking his permission to mention his stuff without mentioning him. And I said, it's going to be funny because you're going to get so many people saying, I make 400 billion. I said, because that's the amount that I'm putting in the title, guaranteed that's the amount that people are saying that they've got. And it was like, you don't get that many comments. I doubt you're going to get somebody saying that. I was like, I'm going to get more than one person saying that. And he went, oh, put your money where your mouth is. So we decided on an amount, and he sent me the stuff this morning because when he checked it last thing before he went to bed, he's in Texas. When he checked it last thing before he went to bed, there was 3 comments that were talking about that. So thank you very much, guys. You've sorted me out. That was fantastic. While we're saying that, I'm going to get to one of the particular comments because there's a comment here that sort of tweaked me. And I wanted to explain this because I think it's actually kind of a good question to ask. I've kind of explained this and I've gone over this before, and I know exactly what the person's talking about, but I don't do that, and I'm never going to do that. So let me go through this and I'll explain why. First off, if you want to go at someone like you do, you kind of need to add the link for the video in the description so we can see for ourselves, because now we just have your word for it of what the guy is saying in his video. So, no. I don't need to do that, because my content, all that jazz. But there is a specific reason why I don't do that. And the specific reason is because of what we're talking about. We're talking about EVE Online here. Now, if you are looking at EVE Online and you know the history of the game, you get into the realms of real-life harassment and the threats policy. There are various different things, and harassment doesn't just fall down to what you're doing to somebody. It can also be encouraging things. So real life threats and stuff like this, you can go through this yourself and see it, but essentially there is 2 sections to the harassment on EVE, and I'll just sort of let that hang on the screen there for a second. But the main point of it is that if I put out a video and I say I don't agree with what this person is doing, like for instance one of my previous ones where I was saying I don't agree with this fully, I like this, I like the idea of it, I like the person's channel and all of that jazz, but I have a problem with this particular video. And then that translates to somebody going over and going, this person called you an arse and I think you are one as well, and blah 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 blah. Because I've linked that then under the EVE rules could be my fault. So I could get a ban for somebody else's behaviour just because I've linked or shown that content. So that is why I didn't link the video. That is why I didn't use anything from the person's video to show this, to go through it. And I am aware that that makes it a bit more of a difficult thing. You're sort of taking what I'm saying on faith. And that being that, I know there's not much trust in EVE, and I'm a particular person for being distrusting, as you can see by the previous video. But I also sort of gave you essentially everything you need to Google it if you were to choose to do that. But in this case, that's on you, not on me, and this is insulating me from any blame on behaviour of somebody else. Now, if you don't think that's a thing, let's talk about what happened fairly recently. There was a particular YouTuber in EVE that in their history, before EVE I believe, they had committed crimes involving children, or a child specifically, on multiple occasions. And the community found out about this. This person had been a big YouTuber for quite some time in the realms of EVE, and the community found out about this. The community then doxed them, attacked them, threw harassment at them, linked their criminal record, and tried to cancel them. Now, I'm not saying whether that was good or bad. My personal opinion on the entire experience around about that was that where some of the comments the guy made defending himself, sort of, what was it? It was something along the lines of, I did wrong, I can see that I did wrong, but this person was infatuating. And I'm sat there going, you cannot describe a child like that. You creep the absolute hell out of me now that I know what age this child is. And I can completely understand the backlash that went around about that, because it was disgusting. However, the people that made those videos, some of them got banned. Some of them that just mentioned the name got banned. Some of them that didn't mention the name but showed a clip of the channel that allowed people that people could use to then go and see that channel, some of them got banned. I don't want any of that. And obviously when I'm putting out content that is disparaging of a way that people are making their comment, obviously that can attract hate. So I don't want to put that out there. A good example of this that is completely unrelated to Eve, I want to show this quickly because I think this is funny. So a good example of this in general comes from this particular YouTuber. This is somebody that I find kind of funny for some of their videos, and I can't watch some of the other ones because the level of stupidity of some people she's talking about just irritates me. But one of the things on this particular thing, so this is the Dadvocate, if you don't know. And they do videos on YouTube that are like compilations of their TikToks going through people who have tried to shame their partners. And the thing that I find very interesting about this isn't what the person has done, it's the responses, because you can see her linking it here where she's talking, where a lot of people have seen a 10-second video and then decided to go out and spew absolute hate and vitriol and just attacking this person. And one of the things that comes up constantly is that when somebody puts out this sort of hatred video of this partner shaming video, what happens after that is that a lot of people go there to attack the partner. So they're going, oh, this person, you should get out, you should divorce this person, he's worthless, she's worthless, etc. And then there's a whole load of like backlash against the creator if the creator then turns around and go, oh no, it was just an innocent little video, because these people are out for blood in the comments. And I know that exists on the internet, so I don't want to facilitate that in any way by putting some aims for people to go. If you recognize the terms in the video and you want to go and search it, that's on you. That's one for you. It's, well, the easiest video to find. But for me, that's the reason why I don't link these things very specifically, because I don't want to direct that hate, and I also don't want somebody going out and doing something that could then be attributed to me, saying, oh well, he did this and he linked me and this. I know some people would consider it punching up because they're bigger YouTubers than me, but I don't think that's an excuse for the behaviour. I don't think you should do that. If you're putting out something that's a critique, it's still not good to facilitate other people going and attacking that person. So yeah, I understand that I am a distrusting person and that you sort of have to take it on faith for me, but at the same time, these are easily searchable videos from what I said in the video, in my video. So that's why that exists. So I don't want to sort of put that level of hate out there. Then just funnily, I want to go over this section here where they're talking about how you can make stuff, because it says, when it comes to industry, you can't do it in Jita. Yes, you can. I absolutely showed how you can. You don't have as high a profit margin, which I also said, but you can do it. Just because it's not a good way of doing it, it's not the best way of doing it, doesn't mean you can't do it. And this is something that's aimed at new players. So absolutely go out and do that in Jita. If it gets you into it, then do it. But look at your profit margins. Make sure you're going to make a bit of profit and you're not wasting anything beforehand. That's the whole point of this. So yeah, I don't agree with saying that you can't do something just because it's not great. your person here obviously said, me and my production partner build 400 billion worth of ship, and if something has less than 20% profit, we ain't building it. So this person is saying that they make 420 billion a year, which is fair play. That's fantastic. Good for you, man. And it's like, thanks for the earnings, because you're one of the claims that got me that. But something here that tweaks my interest, because it says especially T2 frigates can have up towards and even higher than 100% profit sometimes. That's an interesting claim. That's a very interesting claim for me, because I build these. I build a lot of these. And if we bring up, where's my T2 blueprints I've got here at the moment? Let's just have a quick shufty here, buying the materials. Oh, we can't find the stuff. Let's go on the base terms. We've got 30 million, 2 million build in the place that I'm in, and 33.8 million to sell. So that's a profit margin of about 1.5 million on 30 million item. That's not 20%. It's definitely not 100%. We've got Hawk here. Let's have a look at that. Same again. That's interesting. Let's just put out some of the other blueprints that we've got here and check for the individual parts. If you're talking buying, that's 195 million to produce 231. So that's a bit of a profit margin there. Buying to selling is a good idea for that particular thing. But that comes back to what I wanted to describe with these particular parts. When you are looking at the blueprints and selling in general, the point was to show an easy way of doing it. So you can build one of these, no problem. And at the moment, between the buy and the sell price, you've got a quick 40 million profit margin. However, me personally, I don't build these for profit. I build these, the trigger units, for profit. And I don't actually, buying and selling a trigger unit doesn't make you much profit. If you have a look there, you've got an estimated price of 34 million, whereas you've got a 34 million for materials, and then a sell price of 32 million. So you're decreasing. You can't make profit on that. However, this section, 670 million to buy the amount that you need, and 842, that's where your profit is. So it's not always the profit of the item that you're selling that is generating it from buying to selling. It's further down the line. A lot of production people know this, but when it comes to your Tech 2 frigates, there is not a single one of them that has 100% profit margin at all, and hasn't for a long time. There's a lot of websites out there you can have a look at. Here's a good example of it. If you go into Eve University, there is a list of external tools and things like this. There's more exist than is on this page, but a lot of these can help you with building and seeing where your profit margins are. I personally have got a spreadsheet that I made myself for specifically what I did, because there are spreadsheets that people have put out there and they are fantastic tools for doing manufacturing stuff like this, but none of them quite suited the way that I was building stuff, and I wanted to see a particular area and at a glance, so that I could throw a BP into it and then see if there was any profit any way down. So these are things that you can have a look at, but again, with that, the fantastic irony of that comment, when you're saying you need to show evidence and then saying something that's impossible. That was fantastic, mate. You give me a chuckle for that one. So I just wanted to put that out there so that people could sort of know why I did that, and to give an answer, because I figured it was easier to explain verbally than sort of in the comments. That's why I don't link videos that I'm sort of having a problem with. But as you noticed, I did put a link in that previous video to Hateless Gaming for the what you call it, the link for an alpha abyssal fit, which I think that was a fantastic thing. Let's rest in peace to Hateless Gaming. It was a shame that he passed. He did a lot of fantastic comment, and it's all a lot of fantastic content. It's all still on YouTube, so if you are into that sort of thing, I had actually been thinking about doing something similar, but when I saw that your man did it, I kind of feel like it's a bit wrong to go over the top of his content because he was such a good creator and he's no longer with us. So that's why I do what I do, and in the method that I do, thanks thanks for helping me win the bet, and I love it. Fantastic. Keep the comments coming. I appreciate all of them. I like reading them, and they always give us a chuckle. And again, if you disagree, if you agree, I'm more than willing to hear everything, and I'll if I do put a comment up for a reply, which, as you've seen, this is the first one I've ever done, but I won't link any of the details or stuff like that, because again, I don't want to put sort of information, that particular information, out there. But in the comments, search what I say. That's how you find your evidence if you want more, and I absolutely encourage you to go and do this. I'm making these all from very specific examples, and I don't want to put out anything that's inaccurate, but I also would be more hopeful of the world in general if more people went out and went, I've heard this, let me confirm this, because I think that's always a good thing to do. So thanks, fly safe if that's what you choose to do. Oh, and just before I end, I want to talk about a little thing, because I got a new ship, and I know that sounds really stupid, but it turns out I had not actually trained into Galante Tech 2 Industrials, and I did that over the past week. I don't know why I hadn't trained into it for some reason, but I did it over the past week, and I got a new ship. And it sounds really stupid, but I got a lot of enjoyment from that in the game. Just, oh look, I've trained something, this is fantastic. And there's a little bit of happiness that came with that. So I wanted to put that out there, because even somebody like me who's been playing the game for years, there's still other things you can go, oh, this is shiny, this is fantastic. And it kind of supports my argument that EVE should put more ships out there in general. Even if they aren't unique or special or stuff like this, there should be more of the faction stuff. I would absolutely love a Sisters of EVE Industrial. I don't care sort of what it can do, even if it's a copy. I think it should be a blockade runner in general, because Sisters of Eve and the cloakiness of the Stratios. But I would just like one, because I'd like to see where the aesthetics go. But also, I think something is massively underutilized in EVE by the developers is kit bashing. When you see how they make models in the real world for movies, when they take model kits and sort of throw them all together, and there's tons of people on YouTube doing this just to make abstract things. I think that would be quite interesting for faction gear, if you had sort of more of the faction ships that were like kit bashed versions of the existing ones, because the Galante Industrials are a perfect example of this. You have a few different modules, and depending on what where are they? Depending on what particular ship it is for the haulers, you have, where they go, you have a series of ships that are all sort of from the same building block kit when it comes to the industrials. And I think this is a great way of doing it, where instead of just for one race, you could actually mix and match them from others. So yeah, if you happen to see this video and you're a CCP dev, or you happen to be somebody who knows a CCP dev or something like this, just try and put that idea in their ear. More ships that are sort of kit bashed. They don't need to be newer or shinier or stuff like this. Just give them existing stats and give us something different visually to look at, because some of this stuff is fantastic. And I am absolutely loving the interiors for the player owned structures at the moment. These are fantastic. So thanks for watching. Fly safe if that's what you choose to do, and if you don't, make a video. It's always funny. Bye.